From the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS2 News at 5 p.m.
The battle over immigration reform protecting families from being separated boils over from L.A. to the nation's capital.
The Trump administration is taking a lot of heat over Attorney General Jeff Sessions citing the Bible in defending the policy of separating immigrant parents from their children. He said God has ordained them for the purpose of order, and that sparked several tense exchanges at the White House where reporters hammered Press Secretary Sarah Sanders.
I can say that it is very biblical to enforce the law. That is actually repeated a number of times throughout the Bible. However, this hold on, Jim, if you'll let me finish. Again, I'm not going to comment on the attorney's specific comments that I haven't seen. That's not what I said, and I know it's hard for you to understand. Even short sentences, I guess.
Don't you have any empathy?
Jill, go ahead.
Come on, Sarah, you're a parent. Don't you have any empathy for what these people are going through?
Jill,
they have less than you do.
Guys,
Sarah, come on,
settle down.
Seriously.
I'm trying to be serious, but I'm not going to have you yell out of turn. Jill, please call.
It's a law, and they have these people.
But the issue taking center stage right now, separating immigrant parents from their children after entering the country illegally.
CBS 2's Dave Lopez is live at MacArthur Park right now, where a march for families to stay together is about to get underway. Dave?
Well, the word they're using is zero tolerance. That's the reason for all the separation. Behind me over my left shoulder as Marvin Stone pans across, you can see the crowd is growing here at MacArthur Park, right at the corner of Wilshire and Alvarado. They were expecting a crowd of anywhere from 400 to 600 people. It's not that large yet. And they are going to march here once they get started, maybe in about an hour or so, from here to Pershing Square, and then from Pershing Square directly to the Federal Building downtown right off of Alameda. They're here for one purpose, to vent their frustration, their anger, and their complete disgust, if the right word is to use, with the idea that families trying to cross the border, when they're caught, are being separated from their children. According to the U.S. Border Patrol, in 1 week, May 6th to the 13th, nearly 700 children were taken away from their parents as they tried to illegally cross into the United States. It's all part of Attorney General Jeff Sessions' zero tolerance policy, and the reaction has been swift. And this comment from Kirsten Nielsen, Homeland Security.
United States, if you break the law, you go to jail and you're separated from your family. Shouldn't be any different for illegal immigrants.
It has created a firestorm of protest. Yesterday in Washington, members of Congress marched in the streets. Today, House Speaker Paul Ryan said this about the controversy.
This is because of a court ruling, and so this I do think ought to be addressed. We believe it should be addressed in immigration legislation. So what's happening at the border and the separation of parents and their children is because of a court ruling. That's why I think legislation is necessary.
And that legislation will not come up in front of Congress until next week, I am told. So in the meantime, the zero policy and the separation of families will continue. To give me just a couple of quick numbers, so far none of this has happened at the U.S.-Mexico border. Nothing in San Diego, nothing in San Ysidro, nothing in Otay Mesa. None of that has happened yet, although tomorrow the federal government is going to have an open house, if you will, in El Cajon, showing where they're going to house some of these children when the separation happens there. But some numbers, just outside of El Paso, a tent city has now been set up where 450 children will be placed on cots in tents while they're separated from the parents. And in one shelter in Brownsville, Texas, it's filled. 1,500 boys separated from their mothers and fathers, all between the ages of 10 and 17, all in that camp. Back to you in the studio.
On Capitol Hill, House Republicans are drawing up a bill that would create a visa system for hundreds of thousands of Dreamers, giving them legal status for 6 years, we're told, gain points for education and other skills, and eventually applying for citizenship. Also in that bill, $25 billion for President Trump's border wall. House may vote on that measure as early as next week.
There's some breaking news right now. Vasquez Rocks Park has been closed after a possible bear attack today. California Fish and Wildlife says a female hiker on the Pacific Crest Trail told them a bear approached her from behind and attacked her. She says she stabbed it off with a pocket knife and then it ran off. She suffered only a minor scratch on her wrist. The park will remain closed while the sheriff's department investigates.
A brush fire broke out in El Sereno today. Sky 2 over it. Northeastern Avenue.
Now, firefighters were able to keep it from spreading to nearby homes. The fire burned about 5 acres of grass before firefighters put it out.
And the brush fire in Benedict Canyon is expected to be 100% contained a little bit later on tonight. It's just one of several that broke out this week. Now fire officials are bracing for more.
Well, we are seeing it already. It is going to be another rough fire season. Fire agencies around the Southland are gearing up for a busy time and tough work ahead. And CBS 2's Craig Herrera is live at the mobile weather lab right now with details on the fire forecast. Craig.
Yeah, Susie and Jeff, it does not look good at all. We brought the CBS2 mobile weather lab out just to monitor conditions out here in Bellflower. It's 90 degrees right now. Right behind me is the Fire Museum set to open next month. But firefighters from all over Southern California were gathered here today to talk about the fire season and concerns regarding specific geographical areas. They walked away as one team, and I have to tell you, they all agree. Bottom line, this fire season is projected to be just as bad as last year. It's only June, and we've already had several wildfires across Southern California.
This is our normal now, and we're about ready to enter into, we're in the middle now of another, extreme fire season.
Our Stu Mundell was over the Benedict Canyon fire Tuesday.
Those flames probably about 15 feet tall as they're working their way up that hillside.
Fire crews attacked the flames from the air and on the ground.
Wildland fires know no boundaries, and they'll burn across national forest land, burn into the city, burn into the county, burn onto state land.
So which agency goes in first?
The agency that's responsible for that jurisdiction is the incident commander right off the bat.
And they all agree. That agency decides how to first attack the fire.
As a fire grows into jurisdictions, multiple jurisdictions, then we enter into what's called unified command.
All the chief officers involved decided collectively how to get the right resources to the right places.
Whether it's air resources, ground resources, bulldozers, or intelligence.
And drones are helping out as well.
Drones have just helped us at the Portola fire. We were able to kind of let our helicopters kind of, sit down and rest. So remember, now we're saving fuel, we're saving wear and tear on our pilots, and also our troops on the ground out there.
And still keep a bird's eye view on the fire. All the firefighting agencies say they are ready and fully staffed across Southern California, and now ask that you be ready too.
Be ready to leave early and get out of the area so that the fire departments that are all coordinated can work well together.
And a reminder, that does mean clearing at least 100 feet of defensible space. They say that helped to save a lot of homes recently in some of the fires that we had out here. Keep the dead grass down, or the grass down to 4 inches, clear all the dead grass out. They did say that they're asking the governor for an extra $100 million to make sure they have the resources and staff ready to go on red flag days. We'll send it back to you.
Craig, thank you for that. Well, it has been dry. It has been hot out there. Certainly does not help firefighters.
Yeah, but Garth Kemp is standing by. Garth, it's supposed to cool down a little bit, right?
Ooh. Yeah, we're going to see a big cool down as we head to the weekend, you guys, but it was hot out there today. 80 degrees right now. Winds are calm. Humidity right where we should be for the downtown area, but look at that. Triple digits just below it. San Bernardino at 99. Warmer there than it is up in the Lancaster. 73 into the high country. 94 Riverside. So the IE getting spanked right now. Van Nuys 94. 73 into Camarillo. Seabreeze up into Oxnard looks good. Santa Ana, you're at a pretty pleasant about 73-ish to 76 degrees. Meanwhile, there's the change from 24 hours ago, so you can see we've certainly bumped the temperatures up. But it won't be for long. We're about to take things down. By the way, quick heads up, if you're going out to Las Vegas or out to Havasu, red flag warnings are into effect out there. We'll show you the whole forecast coming up in just a little bit. Back to you guys.
Look forward to that, Garth. Thank you. Now to some developing news in the USC sexual misconduct scandal. LAPD detectives raided the home and storage space of former university gynecologist Dr. George Tyndall. He has been accused of inappropriate conduct dating back to 1990. 24 women have joined a lawsuit against the doctor and USC. Detectives say that they've talked to more than 100 women about Tyndall, who has not been arrested or charged yet.
There is a search for a gunman after a man and woman were wounded in an apparent gang-related shooting near Monrovia. LA County Sheriff's officials say both victims were shot in the upper body. It happened around 11:30 this morning in the 2500 block of Broderick Avenue. The wounds are not life-threatening.
Former FBI Director James Comey gets hammered for his handling of the Bureau's email investigation of former presidential candidate Hillary Clinton.
That Justice Department report also revealed a disturbing text message from an agent about President Trump.
Let's get the latest on this at this hour. CBS2 political reporter Dave Bryan is here with those revelations, which is right now rocking the Bureau.
It is. The bottom line here, though, is that there was something for everyone in this report. And, that means the heated debate will continue. Both sides have something to say. The report certainly is not good news for the FBI, but it could have been worse. The Inspector General concluded that while former FBI Director James Comey breached FBI protocol, he did not have any political motivation, nor was he accused of breaking any laws. So both sides in the dispute are now declaring victory. The Department of Justice's Inspector General says James Comey damaged the FBI's reputation when he went public with his recommendation in the Hillary Clinton email investigation.
We are expressing to Justice our view that no charges are appropriate in this case.
President Trump ultimately fired the FBI director and has been critical of the agency.
The president was briefed on the IG report earlier today, and it reaffirmed the president's suspicions about Comey's conduct.
The watchdog report also says Comey was wrong to announce he was reopening the investigation when more details were discovered just days before the 2016 election. The 18-month review found Comey's decisions were not politically motivated. In a New York Times op-ed, Comey fired back, saying, "I do not agree with all the Inspector General's conclusions, but I respect the work of his office and salute its professionalism." Now, Republicans on Capitol Hill may have new ammunition in a push for a new investigation into possible DOJ and FBI misconduct during the 2016 presidential race. The report includes text messages between FBI agent Peter Strzok, who worked on the Clinton investigation, and DOJ lawyer Lisa Page. Page texted, "Trump is never going to become president, right? Right?" Strzok replied, "No, he won't. We'll stop it." Late Thursday afternoon, FBI Director Christopher Wray reacted to the DOJ Inspector General's report.
The OIG report makes clear that we've got some work to do. But let's also be clear, nothing in this report impugns the integrity of our workforce as a whole or the FBI as an institution.
Now, here's the irony in all this. In that Inspector General's report, the IG determined that several FBI agents, including Comey, also broke bureau protocol by using personal email accounts for official government business. That's ironic because it came at the very time the agency was looking into Hillary Clinton's own use of personal emails for work-related business. So, Susie, things just go around and around.
Oh, yeah, Dave. Thank you very much. New York's Attorney General is now suing to try to shut down President Trump's charitable foundation. The lawsuit by Barbara Underwood's office accuses Mr. Trump of illegally using money from the foundation to settle suits against his empire. The AG also claims the president and his 3 eldest children steered donations to veterans groups to improve Mr. Trump's image during the 2016 campaign. Underwood not only wants the foundation dissolved, but also nearly $3 million in restitution and a 10-year ban on Mr. Trump from serving on nonprofits in New York.
It's not at all unprecedented for a nonprofit corporation, for a charitable foundation to be held to account for these violations. It is not, I'm unaware of a case in which the foundation involved was run by a sitting president.
And here's how the president responded on Twitter. The sleazy New York Democrats and their now disgraced and run out of town AG Eric Schneiderman are doing everything they can to sue me on a foundation that took in $18,800,000 and gave out to charity more than it took in, $19,200,000. I won't settle this case.
A year after a gunman shot a senior congressional member and several others at a Virginia baseball practice, with the back on the diamond tonight. Let's take a live look at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C., where the Republicans are soon to take on the Democrats. Looks like the game is in progress. Also in the lineup, House Majority Whip Steve Scalise. These are the images you might remember on this date last year. A number of GOP lawmakers pinned down during practice by a lone gunman. 4 representatives in all were hit before the gunman was killed by Capitol Police serving as security. Paramedics rushed the Louisiana congressman to the hospital after a bullet ripped through his hip. Scalise has seen a pretty slow recovery following 9 surgeries, but says his family has been a key to his success.
I think the lowest point was the first time I saw my kids. You know, it was tough for them to absorb something like this, you know, to know that your dad was shot, somebody tried to kill me, and you know, to comprehend that for at the time a 10 and an 8-year-old, that's really tough.
We're told that Scalise's family will not attend tonight's game, saying it's still too emotional for them.
Thousands of dollars in equipment stolen after thieves break into a locker of a local football and cheer team for a second time.
Plus, missing the mark, why this Father's Day card is being pulled from shelves nationwide.
And a surprise plus a historic moment for the Rams. We have details coming up next.